Hey, friends, welcome back to another episode of the Be Fabbo podcast, episode 91 to be, in fact. And it's called Impact Success Lead and Aspire, the power of knowing you're enough. As always, I want to thank you for letting me come into this space with you. So, whether you're multitasking, whether you're getting ready to put on your shoes and go for a walk, or whether you've devoted some time to just listen to things to help you grow personally and professionally, I applaud you and I thank you, and I'm so grateful for you. So today we're going to deep dive into heart of success, leadership, and living a life filled with purpose and joy. Now, I know we talk about that a lot on the podcast, but every episode I try to bring another element or another level. And maybe it's just that affirmations that you keep hearing every episode you listen to me. When my voice comes into your ears, maybe you're out doing something and you'll think, oh, I hear Bobbi in my ear. I hear a Bobbyism. That's Bobbi reminding me what my worth is, that I'm capable, that I'm more than enough, that I am a Fabbo. So we're going to deep dive into a message that is both simple and profound, but is a reminder that has power to transform the way we see ourselves and consequently the way we navigate our own path to success. It's a simple message, friends. Stop doubting you are enough. Start knowing you are enough. We're going into that right after this break. Hang tight, friends. Welcome to my little corner of the podcast world. I'm Bobbi Brinkman, your host and guide on this transformational journey of business and personal growth. Known as a confidence and motivational instigator, I'm also a speaker, transformational leader, and a mindset coach. But more importantly, I'm here to empower you to transform your business and life with actionable strategies, inspiring stories, valuable resources, and connections. The Be Fabbo podcast is a space where creatives tune in to fuel their growth, ignite their energy, tap into the power of their purpose and passion to build thriving businesses and lives while becoming the best version of themselves. Together, we'll dive into the mindset and motivation you need to achieve success on your own terms. Because, my friends, if you're doing what you love, it should bring you profit, purpose, and joy. We'll also shed light on the essential topics like imposter syndrome, self-care, setting boundaries, and overcoming that negative self-talk. I'm here to cheer you on and remind you to be your biggest fan, to be your own hero, helping you overcome any obstacles in your entrepreneurial journey. Through engaging solo episodes and insightful conversations with inspiring guests who will bring their own stories, experiences, and expertise to the conversation. Together, we're going to cultivate a Fabbo community of heart-centered, confident entrepreneurs and leaders that are ready to continue to make meaningful impact. So once again, I'm Bobbi Brinkman, your host, here to support you every step of the way. With a steadfast commitment to empowerment, mindset, motivation, and momentum, we're going to pave the way for thriving businesses and lives that we genuinely deserve. Time to motivate, educate, and celebrate who you are and where you are here on the Be Fabbo podcast. So friends, grab your earbuds, hit that play button, and get ready to embrace what makes you Fabbo and take action to build the business and life that you want and deserve. So grateful and appreciative of sharing space with me throughout this podcast. Now let's get back to the show. All right, again, hope you got those shoes laced up, or you're snug in the corner, or you're listening and doing other work at your computer. I'm honored to spend some time with you. So in a world that constantly pushes us to seek more, to do more, and be more, hand in the air, right? It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that we're not enough, just as we are. But friends, here's the truth. Realizing and embracing our inherent worth is the cornerstone of not just personal fulfillment, but also professional excellence and being a team leader or being on a team. Okay? Let's think about those things. In today's episode, it's a little extra special because as I bring this episode to you, I'm actually in Austin, Texas, speaking at Cater Source, and I'm talking about Amplify Success, the ripple effect. This is a conference I've been speaking at. I think this is my 5th year. So if you're in Austin, Texas, today at Cater Source special event conference, please find me in the hallways. If you're here, give me a high five. You know, I got some Fabbo buttons to hand out. But just make sure our paths cross if we have the opportunity. And if not, again, listen in here. I'm sharing this message with you as well. As we gather and celebrate and we cultivate every essence of what we're discussing today, I want you to remember the background foundation that you are enough. And I need you to know that. So I want you to unpack some self-doubt and assurance. And I want you to let it go and sit on the side because we're going to discover how embracing our enoughness can amplify our success, our influence, and the positive impact that we have on ourselves, those around us as our team, and let's face it, friends, the world as well. So whether you're on your way to work or taking a break from a busy day or winding down, I invite you to join me for this conversation. I'm getting ready to change some things up here. I'm going to make it available from a lot of you sending me messages that you're going to be able to talk to me a little bit and communicate a little bit better. So as we work through some new things here on the podcast and in the business and underneath my motivated to be umbrella, hang with me because there's going to be an easier way to communicate with me and we can keep these conversations going, right? So as we unlock the doors to opportunity that we never imagined in business and leadership in life, I want you to take to heart. Again, you're going to hear me say it over and over. You are enough. I want you to start knowing you are. So let's unfold some things here. Understanding enoughness and overcoming self-doubt. In this segment, this is really close to my heart as well because it's pivotal to our journey towards living a life of purpose, joy, and success. The concept of enoughness, simple yet profound, is what we need to do to understand that we are worthy and that we are capable and that we are sufficient, exactly as we are right now. The bumps, the bruises, the rough edges, how we are right now is all the things that we went through to get us here. Own that. Be proud of that. This is where we are. It's a foundation upon which we can build extraordinary lives and careers. But it's also a belief that many of us struggle with to fully embrace, and it's because we have that self-doubt. We don't believe in ourselves enough or at all. We look in the mirror, we don't like what we see. We hear a voice, we don't like how we sound. We don't like the way we look. A million other things, friends. But let's challenge that. Let's challenge the self-doubt. It's that common experience, a shadow that can follow us through both our personal lives and our professional endeavors. It asks us, are you sure you can do this? Are you really good enough? Are you meant for this? This doubt just isn't a nuisance, but it's the barrier that's preventing us from pursuing opportunities, from taking risk, and fully embracing our potential. How many of you have that negative conversation going on in your head all the time? Kick that conversation to the curb, friends. Remove those limiting doubts. We have lots of content and lots of episodes on that, but today you're getting rid of it because you are enough. The essence of enoughness. What is enoughness really? Like, what does it really mean? Is it the antidote to self-doubt? Is it the understanding that while we all have room to grow and learn, our worth isn't contingent on our achievements, accolades, or external validations? Do you understand that? It's not about your worth is not defined by the number of followers you have on Instagram. It's not defined when a client says no to you. It's not defined by the digits in your bank account. Now I know I'll get a lot of comments and a lot of pushback on that, but money in a bank account does not define my worth. How many people follow me or like me does not define my worth, nor does it define yours. But it's recognizing that your value comes from within, that we are enough because of who we are, not just what we do and how we went about doing it. The power of shifting perspectives on this. Imagine for a moment the liberation that comes when you truly believe you're enough. It's like shedding weight. You were working on losing weight and you literally shed weight. The good old fashioned got up and exercise way. Look how good you feel. Look how proud of yourself you are. But also, this enoughness is adding weight to your shoulder. The self-doubt is adding weight to your shoulders. You're carrying that extra, I'll call it a guilt. Because somewhere along the line, in some of the baggage along your travels, somebody has told you you weren't enough. And you started believing it. That's heavy conversation. Your past does not define who you are now. Your past is what made you who you are right now. And we're going to continue to grow on this foundation. So I need you to remember that how you interact with the world and how somebody treats you and how you want to be treated is reflection of your enoughness, right? You don't need to carry this weight. This belief doesn't change how you see yourself, but it transforms how you interact with others. It encourages you to step into a new challenge with confidence, to speak up with assurance, and pursue what you really want to go after. That conviction that you have what it takes. And in case nobody's told you today, and in case you haven't heard me from the beginning, you are enough. You're absolutely Fabbo, just the way that you are. So now let's set the stage for transformation. As we go through today's episode, we're going to explore how to cultivate the mindset of enoughness, how to dismantle the barriers of self-doubt, and how to embrace the fullness of our potential. Now, friends, this is a journey that is as challenging as it is rewarding. But anything worth doing is worth doing well. You do not become an overnight success overnight. And just because you see a goal does not mean you have to rush to get there. The journey to getting to fulfilling your goals and your potential has to be enjoyed. It's going to have potholes, it's going to have big sinks, it's going to have peaks and valleys. But that is part of the journey. And it will be a path well worth traveling when you start believing that you can go from here to there. So let's talk a little bit about how we're going to transform our power. In our journey through life and career, one of the most significant obstacles that we often face isn't external. What is it again, friends? It's that voice inside. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it shouts. You are not enough. Who do you think you are? What makes you think you're worthy of that? What happens when we challenge that voice? What happens when you sit back and go, whoa, whoa, not today, voice? Negative Nelly, negative Nancy, whatever name you give it, we're removing it. What happens when you start to believe, truly believe, that you are enough just as you are? This belief, this acceptance is our inherent worth. It's what we call enoughness. And its impact is nothing short transformative. So let's talk about the impact of enoughness. Enoughness isn't about complacency. It's recognizing our instinct values and leveraging it as a foundation for growth and achievement. In the professional world, this translates to stepping into opportunities with confidence, leading with authenticity, and engaging with challenges and opportunities for development, to find success, to make more money, to reach milestones, to get accolades, to win awards, whatever that definition of success that you want, this is what it is, the impact of enoughness. Personally, it might mean living with a sense of peace and satisfaction, knowing that you're living in your truth and that you're aligned with your core values and purpose. And friends, living authentically and loving authentically, it is freeing. It will bring you enoughness. And that in its own is success personally. The barrier of self-doubt can be paralyzing. It can prevent us from amplifying going for that dream job, going for that new career, going for that new path, starting a new business, starting a new tech, starting something that nobody else has done, but you think you might be able to do it. It's also stepping out into a leadership role. Maybe you've been on a team for a very long time and leadership is failing you and it's failing the others on your team. Time for you to step up. Let your voice be heard. How can you lead with intent? How can you lead with kindness? How can you be a transformational leader? Right? Take on that role. It whispers. It whispers lies about inadequacy. It constantly nags at you, reinforcing fears of limiting beliefs. But the moment we start to dismantle those beliefs, to replace doubt with conviction in our enoughness, we will unlock a new level of potential, friends. We will open ourselves to possibilities that were always there, just waiting for you to see them. What is meant for you is meant for you. What is meant for you will come to you. The barrier of self-doubt, it's time to remove that barrier. Now, most of you know I do some consulting and some coaching, so I do have a few, stories I can always share, and I have permission to share these stories, but I have a graphic designer that I worked with for a while, and she really, really, really wanted to start her own agency. But she was really afraid. She didn't like where she was working. She felt undervalued. She didn't feel seen or heard. Again, lack of the correct leadership, because a true leader would have made sure she was shining and heard and seen, right? But she literally didn't believe that she could do this. Yet, she was the winner of all the awards, most creative, best design. Now, the leadership wasn't helping her promoting it, but she just consistently kept doing the work. Others weren't even submitting proposals or doing things. She just kept doing it. And she learned that that self-doubt was just a bigger weight. It was holding her down. And every time she would get an award or recognition, sometimes she got a bonus paycheck, she told me, or a nice little commission. She never really got to talk to the people that she helped outside the room when she was doing some agency work. So she literally had to start thinking about, why can't I do this on my own? Why am I doubting myself? She believed she wasn't experienced enough. She believed she wasn't talented enough. She also believed that she wasn't business savvy enough because she was only creative. What does she know about opening a business, getting it all set up legally, getting all the things? Remember, how many of us started before we knew what we were doing? Because it's just so important to take that first step, to step out on that risk, to take that risk, to believe that you can do that, right? So she had to start unmantling those. When we open ourselves up to possibilities, this is what we can do. When we believe that we can do it, when we are firm enough to take the first step. She began to work on her mindset with me. We did some mindset coaching for about a month. We started to affirm her worth and her capabilities. Everything started changing. And friends, she took the leap. Launched her agency, and within a year, she was not only thriving, but also leading a team of others that also left that agency and also wanted to be in an agency that allowed for growth. They didn't want to see their name on the door, but they wanted to be working with other creatives that believe in a team value. She transformed her self-doubt into a powerful narrative of success by her definition. You all know I love sports, so I do have some sports athletes I work with. So I have a female runner who was just overshadowed. And it was time that she knew that running was going to stop. And so she knew that she needed to work on endorsements and find other ways to make income, passive income streams. We all know about that as creative entrepreneurs, right? But she didn't know how to take any of these meetings. She didn't believe that as an athlete who was just a runner, what would she know about sitting in meetings? But she didn't realize that the discipline that she had as an athlete, the routines that she had as an athlete, were going to make her a wonderful candidate to have these people want to invest in her. She embraced the concept of enoughness and found her voice. She knew that she was going to be able to make a change. She knew that she was going to be able to add impact to her next chapter, that her voice was what was going to move her forward, not somebody else's. But she had to change her mindset, not from the running side, but from the believing in herself outside of what defined her as an athlete. She had great mindset. She knew she was a running champion. She had to change that into her personal life so she could believe that her personal life was going to be validated and improved by what she could do for herself, going out and getting sponsorships. Innovative ideas, innovating ways to talk to your peers, thinking outside the box, especially when you make a career move, out of necessity or out of want. Your experience is warranted. Your experiences knows what you need to do. Experience will dictate how you see yourself. Believe that you have the experience to try something new. Embracing your worth. Now, these stories underscore a critical truth. While they're my clients, and I do not take all the credit for helping them, but I believed in them. So I take credit for believing in them and helping them see their worth. Their journey to embracing our enoughness is challenging and rewarding, but it requires introspection, my friends, a willingness to confront and release limiting beliefs. And more importantly, the commitment to practicing self-compassion and affirmation and believing in yourself. Why? Because you are enough. So as we explore our own narratives about self-doubt, remember that you have that voice and how people around us, and the two people I gave you an example of, found their own voice. Let's remind ourselves that we too are capable of remarkable things when we start knowing and living as if we are enough. Now, let's talk a little bit about the amplify success and the ripple effect. as we share today in this episode of Enoughness and its transformative power. I am thrilled to share some of this with you right now because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm presenting here at CaterSource. And it's a moment that encapsulates everything that we're talking about today: overcoming self doubt, embracing inherent worth, and the extraordinary impact that mindset has, not just on us, but those around us. And I know that while you may not be here, when I talk about how mindset and confidence helps you grow a thriving business, that's the amplifying success part of it. It's the mindset and the confidence. It's the enthusiasm you have about what you do in your career. And that's a ripple effect. So if you want to share, if you want to see the presentation and you don't have to be a CaterSource, just send me a message or send me a DM, and I'm happy to send you a link to those slides. While I wish every one of you could be here at the conference, I'm bringing a piece of it to you. That presentation talks about the things that we've been talking about today because I believe in them deeply, and I aim them to ignite a transformation in how you see yourselves and how you engage in your careers and your industry and with your teams. If you're feeling inspired and think this message would resonate with you or your team or conference, I would absolutely be thrilled to share it. Reach out to me and let's continue to spread this ripple effect together. I can bring this to a conference of small group to you. You just got to let me know, friends. You just got to ask. Be confident in asking. So let's talk about the ripple effect and our attitude and beyond. The concept of the ripple effect is how our actions and our attitude and beliefs can create waves of impact. It's powerful. When we shift our mindset to one of enoughness, we not only liberate ourselves, but also inspire others to explore their own potential. It's about creating that culture of empowerment where believing in one's worth becomes the norm, not the exception. I'll give you a little example of women in sports studying leadership influence. As speaking of empowerment, let's shine a little bit on women's sports. Athletes who play with unmatched vigor and those who lead based on the business side, and some that are breaking barriers in and on the field, in the boardrooms, and setting new standards. Their journeys amplify the ripple effect. By standing firm in their worth and pushing beyond their limits, they inspire a new generation of women to do the same. They show us that our attitudes about ourselves and our roles in a world that is definitely defined by men can indeed be a game changer. As we wrap up today, I want to remember the power of our attitudes, the impact of embracing our enoughness, and the far-reaching effect of your actions. Whether it's in sports, business, or any area of life, you have the ability to create positive ripples that extend far beyond your immediate reach. So let's start with knowing we're enough and watch the belief transform the world around us. We have to go forward, friends. We have to keep moving forward. We have to believe that we are enough. That's what I have for you today here on episode 91. So, let's continue to move each other. Let's continue to support each other. Continue to be Fabbo. Focused, authentic, brave, bold, and open to opportunities. So next time, friends, believe and know you are enough. Stay Fabbo, friends. Oh, thanks again, Fabbo listeners, for sharing some space with me. I hope you found some motivation and encouragement. And I hope you got a big virtual in your earbud hug from the podcast today. I want to remind you that if you are feeling stuck and you want to start taking strategic steps that align with your purpose and your goals, if you're ready to shift your mindset from being defeated to a winner, ready to make an impact with your business, if you're ready to start betting on yourself and regain that confidence that you need to move forward, if you're ready to have somebody gently nudge you past those roadblocks and remind you that what's right here is just getting you ready for your next chapters of your amazing Fabbo business and your life story. If you're ready to get excited about your business and reconnect with your purpose, I invite you to reach out and do a discovery call with me. Let's find out if we're a good fit. Let's find out how we can work together. I can't wait to hear your story. I can't wait to hear your vision, where you've been and where you want to go. A Fabbo chat helps us for 1 hour. We can have a strategic business call that can just get you that mojo back, right? I will gently nudge you. My role as a coach is not to do the work for you, but to help you see the path that you're already on and to remind you that you're already Fabbo. I'm just here to remind you of that.
So reach out in the show notes below, BobbiBrinkman.com. Make sure you reach out. I'm here for you. Send me a DM. However you want to communicate. Let's get you moving forward. Let me help cheer you on. Let's work together. Because the world needs who you are. The world needs what you have to offer. And the creative industries that you serve, those clients are just waiting for you. They just don't know that they need you yet. Let's get you unstuck. Let's get you moving. I'm so happy you're here today. Have an absolutely fabulous day. Till next time, my friends. Peace and gratitude.